As a lean leader, it's important to understand our measurement systems, and not only to measure our Ys or the outputs to our processes, how we always measure our KPIs or key performance indicators, but it's also very important to understand what are all the inputs that make up that process or make up that output. In our shipping process here at the facility, we measure our inputs in the form of time because our expectation, or what we measure as our output, is that we need to deliver the material to the customer within 2 hours of their order. The way we do this is through an ops diagram where we show the timing of our orders, which let's say it's 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So we do batch our orders from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, which is 2 intervals of batching every 15 minutes. And the reason we do this is because we want to match our pacemaker in our process, because we want to keep this drumbeat for our measurement system. And it's also easier for us to understand our inputs and reduce the variability in all our processes. So let's say we batch the order from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we release that order to the pickers. And the pickers pick all the way until 9:45. And let's say the pickers pick one skid. That skid is put on the loading dock. Then on that loading dock, that skid is verified. And after that skid is verified, it's immediately loaded on to the next shuttle. And that way we keep on with this continuous flow of material. There should never be anything on our dock, and if there is something on our dock, that means that we have a problem. Maybe that problem is we didn't verify correctly, or we have a problem with the item that we picked. Maybe we picked the wrong item. So we never want to pass on an error to our customer. So then this is 9:45. And then we put in about 15 minutes of some flexibility because we do get hot orders in the operation. So we need some time to go pick those hot orders and put them at the tail end of the truck so they can be unloaded first. So here's the 15 minutes of flexibility. At 10 o'clock, that is our shipping time. Our expectation is that we ship the truck every hour at the top of the hour. So at 10 o'clock, that truck departs our facility. And then there's about 20 minutes transit time, and it arrives to our customer at 10:20. Now remember, the expectation was 2 hours from the first order, which was printed at 8:30, and it arrives at 10:20, meaning that we are giving ourselves some flexibility, about 10 minutes of 2 hours from when that order was printed, but we are meeting the customer expectation of shipping that order within 2 hours. One more thing about this is that, again, it's important to understand our inputs and our outputs. So our output is, yes, we delivered that item within 2 hours, and we can measure exactly when it arrived. But another important thing to measure is when are we actually fulfilling our processes. So let's say at 9:45, we're supposed to be completed with picking, verifying, and loading all the orders. But let's say there's still 2 orders that still need to be picked. Then we need to get up and we need to come up with a plan to fulfill those orders. Maybe we need to bring in another picker, or we need to call the customer, but we cannot fail. So we need to proactively go and pick up those orders and make sure that that gets on the next truck. So we're not waiting for the output when we can't do anything about it and the output's just a defect. We're actually taking care of it along the process.